Hey everyone, I haven't been on for a little while. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do like a little sit down chatty video. I've got some stuff on my mind at the moment, a bit of highbrow, lowbrow to be honest. It'll be fun just to share some shower thoughts. So one big thing that's been happening over the last couple of weeks is COP29, which was taking place in Cali, Colombia. For anyone that doesn't know, COP29 is the biodiversity conference of the parties. And it happens every 2 years. The last one was a pretty landmark conference, and out of it came the Global Biodiversity Goals, which is what this year's one was kind of being assessed against. So every country has set biodiversity goals because nature is really important. Unfortunately, we are well off meeting a lot of them. One of the big goals as part of the Montreal Agreement was a plan called 30 by 30, which is a goal of setting 30% of the world's surface as protected by 2030, so in 6 years time. We are well off that, unfortunately. I think it's something like 17% of land is protected and like 8% of the ocean is under marine protected area, and only maybe like 2% of that is considered like fully protected. So we're quite far off. Another big topic was biodiversity finance, or finance for nature, and there's some really interesting activities going on in this space. Essentially the idea is that to meet these targets set in Montreal, we need about $700 billion pledged, and we're currently in the hundreds of millions. So we're well off, which can be a bit depressing, but there have also been some really interesting developments. One of the big carbon standard setters, whose name is Vera, they have created and launched what's called the Nature Framework, and this is a space that is rapidly evolving the idea of biodiversity credits. In the same way that you can have carbon credits, biodiversity credits are a way of quantifying a activity or a company's effect on biodiversity, and buying and trading credits in order to kind of achieve no net loss of biodiversity. There's also another biodiversity credit scheme launched by a Swedish company, which is quite cool. And New Zealand, interestingly, have invested in the Toha network. They've designed like a token scheme. The tokens are known as mahi, and they represent an hour of labour towards biodiversity goals, such that companies who are destroying nature can purchase these tokens, and then the people doing the biodiversity conservation work can access the money from those tokens, which is quite an interesting idea. Whether or not it will take off is yet to be seen. On the same topic, COP29 is very close. By the time this video is released, probably a couple weeks away. That will be taking place in Azerbaijan, which I have my own opinions about. Azerbaijan is an oil nation, and while I believe that energy companies, particularly extractive sectors, need to be involved in the climate change conversation, I don't necessarily think that they should have such power. We saw this last year at the COP, where there were huge numbers of representatives from extractive industries involved in the decision-making process, and I think it's inevitable that where there are those interests represented in such large numbers, they're going to have some kind of sway on the decision-making process. I know at this year's COP in Azerbaijan, finance is also going to be a hot topic. I think also continuation on the Loss and Damage Fund, which is a fund which wealthy nations have committed money to, and the idea is that it will support climate vulnerable countries, communities, to deal with the impacts of climate change in their countries. As we all know, it's often the very wealthy countries who don't see the effects of climate change who do most of the emitting. In lighter news, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a huge Swiftie, and I'm definitely party to the clowning about rap TV, but at the same time I'm also really excited for debut. I love The Outside. I don't know why, I just love it. I'm sad that she didn't play any of debut songs in the Eras tour, and I feel like we've had so many Easter eggs for Rap TV, but I've been saying it's about to be released for like maybe like every month for like a year and a half. I'm pretty sure people were clowning for Rap TV before Midnight's came out because she wore that like diamante dress, and everyone thought it was like her lying in the bath of diamonds. So I don't know. Even when she got her honorary doctorate and there was that cage in the bottom of the screen when she was getting dressed up or something or taking photos, and then people thought of the big cage where she's like swinging in one of the music videos. So I mean, Reputation is my whole personality. And I don't really know what I'll do when it gets released because I'm just so scared. I mean, I know that I'll love it because everything Taylor does is, but I'm scared because that album means a lot to me, and I've been rewatching the Eras tour on Disney Plus, and oh my god, like, so that's the version that I saw. I saw it in Melbourne, and I had tickets to go and see it in London, but then I moved to New Zealand, so I couldn't go, and I was really sad, especially now knowing that I missed TPD, but I also love the show that we got, and I'm so glad, so glad that I saw Long Live, because that song, okay, that is one thing that she's done that I disagree with, I must say. Long Live should not have been removed. I, unpopular opinion, would replace, I don't know if I should say this online. I personally would replace Enchanted with Long Live. I don't rate Enchanted, I'm sorry there, I said it, yeah. But also, I've heard this going around that like people think that the Canada shows won't be the last one because Canada isn't as much of like a big place to play, it's not as iconic. I disagree. I think she needs a break. And also, I have seen this, that she said in like a tweet or a post that she like handpicked the last two venues, and it's Toronto and Vancouver TV. So I reckon it will be the last ones, which makes me sad because I don't really know what I'm gonna do with my life after Eras tour, to be honest. God, I'm gonna have so much brain space. And I also think there's definitely a documentary coming. Anyway, I rambled for a little while. Those insides of my brain. I'll be coming with some more vloggy vlogs soon, so hang in there. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.